Yes, children. So we have seen the measures which has been taken to reform the agricultural field after independence. So let us see some other steps also which has been taken to improve the agriculture. See, the first one it is Kisan credit card. So guys, do you know, it is very much important concept. You just listen carefully. Kisan credit card, what they'll be doing. The people who will be holding this card will be getting some, the credit assistance from the banks. That is the rural development banks or the, like NABARD or the Grameen banks. Okay. This scheme has been started in the year of 1998. Guys, remember, this scheme has been started in the year of 1998. Okay. To give the assistance or to give the financial assistance or the credit or the loans to the farmers. Okay, that is what the first one, that is Kisan credit card, and the next one it is personal accident insurance scheme. So coming to this personal accident insurance scheme, the people who will be holding this Kisan credit card. So those people till the year of their 70, their insurance claim, the age basis 70 years. So if they get any accident, or for example like a death, if the death causes due to accident, then they will be eligible to get 50,000, and if any small injuries, they will be able to get 25,000, and they have to pay, the card holder has to pay just 15 rupees as a premium. Okay, this is what some other schemes or the steps has been taken or introduced by the government of India for the benefit of the farmers. Okay, this is very much important, children. Guys, remember Kisan credit card and personal accident insurance scheme. In your textbook it's not explained, so listen this, the video carefully. They may ask about this individual question. Okay, yes. And the next one, moreover, special weather bulletins and agriculture programs for farmers were introduced on the radio and television. So you can ask your, the grandparents and all, in that, in the olden time and all, they used to give some weather forecasting, the reports in the radios and the TVs, and they'll be assisting the, the farmers by giving some, information about the agriculture, how to do the, agriculture, other, the manures, fertilizers, how to use, all those things they used to guide them. Okay. And then the next one it is, the government also announces minimum support price, remuneration and procurement prices for important crop to check the exploitation of farmers by speculators and the middlemen. So here what they are telling children, for example, you will be seeing in your, the locality, the farmers who was, who will be producing the crops, they'll not be getting the proper prices in the market for that particular crop. So that is a reason from the government side they started to give some minimum support price. That means the minimum price for that particular product. Okay. And then they started to give even the remuneration and the procurement prices also, because you can see in the market what happens there. You can see the maximum brokers, speculators, the middlemen, that we'll call it as a brokers. So what they'll be doing, they'll be purchasing from the, the producers, that is the farmers, and they'll be selling to the other people. That is the people who will be selling. So finally the middleman will be getting commission from the both the sides, from the farmers and even from the sellers. So to avoid that, the government has started with this facility, the minimum price or the support price. Okay. And the next one is, see, in your textbook, they have explained in detail about Bhudan and Gramdan. This is one of the, the activity or the movement which has been taken in India. Okay, the land reform movement. See, children. So the Mahatma Gandhi declared the Vinoba Bhave as his spiritual heir, and he also participated in satyagrahas as one of the, the foremost satyagrahas. So as we know in India, the main problem, that is zamindari system, and the landless people were more because the maximum land was owned by a particular set of people, that is zamindaris. Okay. So that time what happened, for the poor people and the landless people, Mahatma Gandhi and Vinoba Bhave. So these people started with the Satyagraha or the movements to fight against those people and to get the land for even to the landless people. Okay. So this movement, the Vinoba Bhave is called as the father of the Bhudan and Gramdan movement. Okay. See. So he was one of the, the victorious of Gandhi's, the concept of Gram Swarajya. So the main idea of the Gram Swarajya idea came from Mahatma Gandhi. So he started to spread his ideas to all over the country through Padayatra. Okay, he started to do some Padayatra. Through walking, he started to spread his Gandhi's idea, the message to the all over the country. Okay, and then see, once when he was delivering a lecture at the Pudampally in Andhra Pradesh, some poor landless villagers demanded some land for their economic well-being. So the main motto of this movement was also the same, to distribute the land to the landless people. So when he was addressing the people in Andhra Pradesh, the poor people started to demand for that. Okay, but he can't promise them immediately because he has to consult to the government also. So that's the reason he promised those people, he didn't promise immediately, but he assured them that he'll talk to the government of India and any provisions he will be giving to the people to cooperate with the farmers. Okay, and then see, suddenly, the Sri Ramachandra Reddy stood up and offered 80 acres of land to be distributed among 80 landless villages. So this act was known as Bhudan. So later he travelled and introduced his ideas widely all over the India. So in Andhra Pradesh, suddenly what happened, the Sri Ramachandra Reddy, he, his own 80 hectares of land, that land he, announced that he is going to distribute to the 80 landless people. Okay. So finally that they started to call it as a Bhudan. He started to give the land to the landless people or the landless villages, that particular village. That they used to call it as a Bhudan. And then some zamindaris, that is the people in one particular village, they'll be having the zamindars. So they'll be holding the maximum land of that particular village. So that zamindars and the owners of many villages offered to distribute some villages among the landless. So they'll be owning the villages. So those people started to distribute the land or the villages to the landless people. So that they used to call it as a Gramdan. Guys, you people understood the difference between Bhudan and the Gramdan. Okay, Bhudan means, the one particular person will be having the particular set of land and he started to distribute to the landless people. But coming to the, the Gramdan, it is like a owners of a villages or the zamindars. So they started to distribute the villages or the zamins to the the landless people. That they used to call it as a Gramdan. Okay. So however, many landowners choose to provide some part of their land to the poor farmers due to the fear of Land Sealing Act. Because at that time they started with the Land Sealing Act. If any person is owning more than that particular set of land, then it has to be seized by the government. So with that fear, the many people started to distribute the land to the poor and the landless farmers. Okay. See, this Bhudan and the Gramdan movement initiated by Vinoba Bhave is also known as the Bloodless Revolution. So guys, you have to remember about Bhudan and Gramdan movement. Okay. Yes. And the next one we can see that the contribution of agriculture to the national economy, employment and output. So how the agriculture is what percentage of the the economy it is providing to the national development. See, agriculture has been the backbone of the Indian economy. So as we know that agriculture is one of the backbone for our Indian economy or the GDP. See, though its share in the GDP has registered a declining trend from 1951 onwards. See, in 2010 and 11, about 52% of the total workforce was employed by the farm sector. So as we know that, thus we have learnt in the beginning only, almost more than 50% of our country people, the population is entirely depend on the agriculture or the farming activities for their livelihood. Understand? So that means it's providing the 50% population of the employment opportunities. And as we know that from the agriculture side, the GDP is declining, decreasing. The contribution to the GDP from the agricultural side is declining. See, the declining share of agriculture in GDP is a matter of serious concern, because any decline and stagnation in agriculture will lead to a decline in other spheres of the economy, having wider implication for society. Because children, we know that primary sector activities are the base for the other two sectors, that it is maybe secondary sector or the tertiary sector. If agricultural production or agricultural, the GDP started to decrease, of course there will be no proper increase in the secondary sector and even in the tertiary sector. So it will affect even the other sectors of our country, other spheres of our society. Understand? So that is what here they are telling. It even affect the others, the other spheres of the economy in our country. Because we know that the primary sector is a base for other sectors of economy. Understand? So that is what here they are telling. Okay, see. Considering the importance of agriculture in India, the government of India made concerned efforts to modernize agriculture. So that's the reason they started to make, introduce the modern agricultural technology even in India also. Because as we know, I know that this GDP is declining in the agriculture side. So because it affects even the other sectors or the spheres of the economy. So that's the reason they plan to increase or implement the modernization in agriculture. So they started to include some other measures also. See here. Establishment of Indian Council of Agricultural Research. So they started with the, the Indian Council of Agricultural Research, agricultural universities and varieties, the veterinary services and animal breeding centers. So they started even with the animal breeding centers, horticulture development for the, the food crops, that is the vegetables and other fruits, to implement that. Research and development in the field of meteorology and weather forecast, etc. were given priority for improving Indian agriculture. So as we understood, children, what happened? So from the agricultural side, the production or the contribution to the Indian economy started to decline. Understand? So once we know that India, the primarily India is basically an agricultural country. So once the, the decline in the agriculture, what happens? It will start affecting even the other spheres or the other sectors of economy also. So that is the reason the government of India started with some measures. They started with taking the measures by providing, see, animal breeding centers and the veterinary services, agricultural universities, research centers, Indian Council for Research Center, and then the horticultural development, all these activities which has been taken by the government of India to improve the production or to improve the, agriculture in our country. Okay. See, India growth of GDP and major sectors. So like we can see that agriculture in the year of 2013 to 14 it is 4.2 and 2014 to 15 it is -0.2 and 15 to 16 it is 1.1. There is a drastic decline in the, the contribution to the GDP. Okay children.